All right, let's gear up for a deep dive into prepping for a marine cargo inspector interview. We're going to break down some sample questions from RoleCatcher and sprinkle in some career insights to help you really ace that interview. You ready to jump in?
Absolutely. Let's do this. It's a pretty fascinating field. Marine cargo inspectors are like the guardians of global trade, making sure everything coming through our ports is safe and sound.
Yeah, more than just checking things off a list, right? They're analyzing ships, making sure all the paperwork is legit, and sometimes even dealing with dangerous stuff.
Right. You got it. It's a demanding job, but with a lot of responsibility. So let's say you're hit with that first question. Can you tell us about your previous experience as a marine cargo inspector?
Oh, okay, yeah, that classic question. But what if you don't have direct experience in that exact role?
That's all right. Think about the skills that transfer, like attention to detail, solving problems, maybe even experience with compliance or regulations in a different job. Have you ever worked in quality control or handled sensitive equipment?
Oh, okay,
You can frame those experiences to show how they've prepped you for this role.
I like that, yeah. Highlight how your past experiences actually connect to this job. And isn't this where RoleCatcher's AI can come in handy?
Oh, absolutely. Their platform analyzes the job description, picks out keywords, and it even suggests ways to weave those words into your answers. Pretty neat, huh? It also gives feedback on how well your response matches what the employer is looking for.
Wow. So you can actually practice and fine-tune your answers before the interview, like having a personal interview coach right in your pocket.
Exactly. Now let's move on to another common one. How do you ensure the safety and security of cargo shipments? This is where you really got to showcase your knowledge of the process.
I see. So it's more than just saying, I'll follow the rules.
Definitely. Think of it like this. You're walking through a busy port. What are you looking for? What catches your eye? Think about the packaging. Is it damaged? Is everything labeled correctly? Anything that looks off that could be a safety risk or a violation.
Oh, yeah, I get it. You're painting a picture for the interviewer, showing them you can actually visualize the process and you know what to look for.
Exactly. And you can even mention specific regulations or protocols you've learned about to show you've done your homework.
Right. And speaking of standing out, didn't RoleCatcher have that Get Discovered feature where
Mhm.
employers can actually find you based on your skills?
Yes. Having those details on your profile can really make a difference.
So it's like a double whammy. You're prepared for the interview, and you're also increasing your chances of getting noticed by the right people.
Exactly. Now, switching gears a bit, think about this question. How do you keep up to date with the latest regulations and industry standards?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
This industry changes all the time, so they want to know you're committed to staying current.
So just skimming industry news online probably isn't going to cut it.
It's a start, but you want to show you're actively engaged, like mentioning specific industry publications or associations you follow.
Right, that makes sense. But what if you haven't had time to join any associations yet? Before even getting the job?
That's understandable. You can still mention specific publications or online resources you've been using to research the field.
Oh, good point. And wouldn't RoleCatcher's AI be helpful here too?
Oh, for sure. They can suggest relevant publications or even connect you with industry groups based on your profile. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it's like having a personalized career development guide right there.
Okay.
Okay, so we've talked about showcasing your knowledge and experience, but let's face it, things don't always go perfectly in the world of cargo.
Right, you got to be prepared for anything. So how would you answer this? How do you handle a situation where a shipment does not meet safety or regulatory standards?
Ooh, okay, this is about problem solving.
Exactly. The key here is to show a calm and methodical approach. What's the first thing you would do? Maybe thoroughly document the issue. Then, who would you need to notify? Your supervisor, maybe a specific agency, depending on what's wrong. And finally, what steps would you take to fix the situation?
All right, so you're walking them through your process. And wouldn't RoleCatcher's resources be helpful here too? Like their FAQ section maybe has examples of common violations and how they're handled?
Absolutely. They've got a ton of real-world scenarios to help you prepare.
Now, let's switch gears to a situation that needs a different kind of problem solving. What about this one? How do you handle a situation where a shipment is delayed or lost?
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one, but it's all about staying calm, gathering information, and taking action. Think about potential causes for a delay, like bad weather, customs holdups, or even just logistical mix-ups.
So it's about showing your investigative skills. Like, how would you track down that missing cargo? Who would you contact?
Exactly. What systems or databases would you use? How would you keep everyone informed?
Wow, this question really tests your ability to think strategically and communicate effectively.
It does. And remember, showing that you can handle pressure is key.
I'm noticing a pattern here. It's not just about knowing the right answer. It's about showing you have a process for figuring things out.
You got it. Okay, ready for another one?
Bring it on.
Let's get into the details with this one. How do you ensure that all documentation is accurate and complete?
Oh man, attention to detail is crucial here. I can already see myself triple-checking every form.
It's super important. You want to highlight your systems for staying organized. Maybe mention specific tools or techniques you use to avoid errors.
I see. So instead of just saying, I'm organized, you're giving concrete examples of how you actually do it.
Right. And RoleCatcher's AI can even analyze your responses and suggest keywords to help you tailor your answers to what the employer is looking for.
Okay, this is all making so much sense. Now let's shift the focus from cargo to the tools you'll be using on the job.
Good idea. Let's say they ask, how do you ensure that all equipment and machinery is properly maintained and inspected?
Okay, so they're testing your knowledge of safety protocols and maintenance standards. Would mentioning any experience with preventative maintenance be helpful here?
Definitely. Talk about inspection checklists, documentation procedures, and communication with maintenance teams, anything that shows you understand the importance of keeping equipment in tip-top shape.
I bet RoleCatcher could even help me find specific industry standards or regulations to mention. That would make my answer even stronger.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They might even have sample responses from experienced professionals to give you a better idea of how to approach this kind of question.
This is all so helpful. I'm feeling way more confident about those interview questions now.
That's great to hear.
I'm excited to keep digging into this, but maybe we should take a quick pause. We can come back and dive into some more challenging questions and explore what a career path in this field actually looks like.
Sounds good to me.
All right, we'll be back soon to uncover more insights into the world of a marine cargo inspector.
Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. We've tackled some tough interview questions so far, but let's dive into a few more that really test your ability to think on your feet. How would you answer this? How do you prioritize your workload and manage your time effectively?
Oh, the classic time management question. Every job wants someone organized, but how do you make yourself stand out?
Remember we talked about that demanding work environment, irregular hours, multiple inspections happening at once. Use that to your advantage. Paint a picture of how you thrive in that kind of setting.
So instead of just saying, I make lists, I could talk about specific tools, like a digital calendar or techniques I use to prioritize tasks.
Exactly. And don't forget to mention your ability to stay calm and adapt when things get hectic. RoleCatcher's Career Guide actually highlights adaptability as a key skill for marine cargo inspectors, so weave that in.
It's like they're giving you a cheat sheet for the interview.
Okay, hit me with another one.
All right, let's talk about quality, they might ask.
Yeah.
How do you ensure that all inspections are conducted in accordance with company and regulatory standards?
That sounds like a big one. It's not just about following the rules, it's about going above and beyond, right?
Precisely. This is where you showcase your meticulous approach. Maybe you mention specific quality control processes you're familiar with. So I could talk about my experience documenting everything thoroughly, double-checking my work, and maybe even proactively identifying areas for improvement.
Excellent. That shows you're not just following orders, you're genuinely invested in maintaining those high standards. RoleCatcher's AI can actually analyze your answer and suggest keywords that align with industry standards.
Oh, that's really helpful. It takes the guesswork out of tailoring your response. Okay, we've tackled a lot of interview questions, and I'm feeling way more prepared. But what happens after you nail that interview and land the job? What does a career path in this field actually look like?
That's where it gets really exciting. A career as a marine cargo inspector isn't just a job, it's a path with real growth potential.
Okay, I'm all ears. What are some of the advancement opportunities out there?
RoleCatcher's Career Guide lays out several options. As you gain experience, you could move into supervisory roles within an inspection agency, maybe even manage a team.
So you're not stuck on the docks forever.
Not at all. You could specialize in a particular type of cargo, like hazardous materials, which often comes with a higher salary and more responsibility. Or you could transition into a related field, like becoming a marine surveyor who inspects ships for safety and seaworthiness.
Wow, there are so many possibilities. But how do you make those jumps? What are the keys to career advancement in this field?
The guide emphasizes the importance of continuous learning. New regulations, technologies, even types of cargo are constantly emerging. Think of it as a lifelong adventure.
So even after you get the job, you're not done learning.
Never. To stay ahead of the curve, you need to be proactive. The guide suggests pursuing additional certifications, like the International Cargo Inspector certification or a HAZMAT certification, which stands for Hazardous Materials. These show potential employers you have specialized knowledge and are serious about your career.
That's like leveling up in a video game. You gain new skills, unlock new opportunities.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of networking. Attending industry conferences and joining professional associations, like the National Association of Marine Surveyors, can open doors and connect you with people who can guide your career.
So it's not just what you know, it's who you know.
Networking is about building relationships, sharing knowledge, and learning from others. You never know what opportunities might arise from a casual conversation.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. But how do you make your accomplishments stand out? How do you show potential employers what you're capable of?
The guide suggests creating a portfolio. This could include photos of successful cargo inspections, reports you've written, even presentations you've given at conferences. It's a way to tangibly demonstrate your expertise.
It's like a visual resume that goes beyond bullet points. It shows, rather than tells, what you can do. And speaking of showcasing your expertise, participating in industry conferences and presenting on relevant topics can really elevate your profile, right?
Exactly. It might seem daunting at first, but presenting allows you to share your knowledge, position yourself as a thought leader, and connect with other professionals on a deeper level.
It's a win-win. You learn, you share, and you grow your network all at the same time. Now, let's circle back to RoleCatcher. We've talked about their resources throughout this deep dive, but it's worth emphasizing just how much they offer.
Absolutely. Their platform goes beyond just interview prep. They have this incredible CV and resume builder that uses AI to tailor your application materials to specific job opportunities.
So as you gain experience and move up the career ladder, RoleCatcher can help you showcase those new skills and target higher level positions.
Exactly. And their Get Discovered feature, where employers can find you based on your skills, becomes even more valuable as you become more specialized.
This is all so impressive. I'm convinced that RoleCatcher is a must-have tool for anyone pursuing a career as a marine cargo inspector, or really any career for that matter. But before we wrap up, let's distill some key takeaways for our listeners. What are the most important things to remember when prepping for that marine cargo inspector interview?
First and foremost, thorough preparation is key. Research the company, understand the role, and practice your answers to common interview questions. RoleCatcher's AI-powered platform can help you with all of this.
And don't forget to showcase those relevant skills: attention to detail, problem solving, knowledge of regulations, and a commitment to safety and quality. Those are the qualities that will make you stand out.
Absolutely. And remember, while it's important to be prepared and professional, it's also crucial to be yourself. Let your personality shine through, show your enthusiasm for the field, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
I love that advice. Be prepared, be skilled, and be you. That's a winning combination. But even if you don't land the first job you interview for, don't get discouraged. Each interview is a learning experience that helps you refine your skills and build confidence.
That's a great point. Every interview is a step closer to your dream career.
Now, before we sign off, let's leave our listeners with a final thought-provoking question to ponder as they embark on their journey as marine cargo inspectors.
So are you ready to tackle that final challenge?
Oh, absolutely. Hit me with it.
All right, we've talked about staying current with industry trends, but let's push a little further. What are some emerging technologies impacting the role of a marine cargo inspector?
That's a good one. You know, technology is changing everything, but I haven't really thought about its impact on cargo inspection specifically.
Well, think about drones for a second. They're already being used in some ports to inspect those hard-to-reach areas of ships, like cargo holds or ballast tanks. Pretty cool, huh?
Wow, yeah, that's way more efficient and a lot safer than having someone climb around in those tight spaces.
Exactly. And it speeds up the whole inspection process. And then there's blockchain technology. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I've heard the term, but I'm not exactly sure how it applies here.
Well, it's being used to create these secure digital records of cargo movements. Makes it much easier to track shipments, verify documentation, and prevent fraud.
It's like a digital fingerprint for every piece of cargo.
You got it. It's a real game changer for the industry, and marine cargo inspectors need to be in the loop. Oh, and we can't forget about artificial intelligence. AI-powered systems are being developed to analyze images and data from inspections, helping inspectors spot potential risks or things that might be missed otherwise.
Wow, okay, my mind is officially blown. This is way more high-tech than I imagined. So you need to know the traditional stuff, but also be tech savvy and understand how these new technologies are changing things.
Exactly. And here's the challenge for you. How can you show off your knowledge of these technologies in an interview? How can you convince the hiring manager that you're not stuck in the past, but embracing the future of cargo inspection?
That's a really good point. It's not enough to just read about these things. You need to be able to talk about them intelligently and show how they're actually relevant to the job.
Yeah.
Maybe mention specific online courses you've taken or industry publications you follow to stay up to date.
Absolutely. Show them you're a lifelong learner, passionate about the industry, and ready to adapt to new challenges.
This deep dive has been incredible. I feel like I've learned so much about the world of marine cargo inspection. It's a really important job in the global economy, and I hope we've inspired some folks out there to consider this career.
Me too. It's a dynamic field with a lot to offer.
And remember, RoleCatcher is an amazing resource for anyone looking for a job in this field. They've got you covered every step of the way, from building your resume to practicing for your interview.
Definitely check them out.
So go out there, ace those interviews, and start your journey as a marine cargo inspector.
Best of luck.
Until next time, keep exploring and keep learning.